Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with another addition to the Votann playlist. This time it's the other vehicle, the Sagitaur. A lot of people have been hounding me to get back on the Votann playlist, and I can't do all the videos in a row. I can't just do 7 Votann videos in a row. People who aren't interested in Votann might get a little bit annoyed at that, so I do have to sprinkle them in with all my other content. So sorry for the 2-week wait for the next video or so it was. So we have the Sagitaur now, and then we only have 3 videos left in the series, and we will be getting to them in the coming weeks. So stick around and enjoy. Okay, so this is the first of 2 Sagitaurs that I will be doing for my army. Constructed it, left the turret, canopies and the front guns off, and I sprayed the whole miniature black. Like I did with the Land Fortress video and a lot of my vehicle videos later in the last while, I'm going to be using my favorite stippling technique, using the Artist Opus Series D dry brushes. I cannot tell you how much I love this effect that I've been getting on all of my vehicles and armor, and the amount of depth I get in the color of the paintwork. I would find it very difficult to go back to painting vehicles and armor in any other way. So, starting with Khorne Red, and as you can see, I'm just aiming for all of those upper armor panels across the Sagitaur. Like I said, I've used, said in many videos before, I usually have a reference picture pulled up on my computer from the Games Workshop website or Warhammer Community, or even just a Google image search to try and figure out where the different colored panels usually sit on a vehicle, and then follow along with that. Like the Land Fortress, most of the underbelly of this thing is black, but then all of the panels on top, all those like armored panels, are done in the color, so I'm going to go for the red. Jump across the Mephiston Red and basically do the same stage all over again, but going a little bit lighter. You do want some of the Khorne Red showing through that mottled effect, but it is still quite a solid coat. It's when we jump up to the next color that it's a little bit lighter again. But as you can see, it does give you a beautiful rich color. There's no brush strokes in it, there's no streaks, there's no nothing. It's just a really nice effect, and it's super quick. Like when I am painting up the second one of these and I'm not recording it for a video, I'd say I would bash out the entire vehicle in maybe an hour. So I'm super excited to get that done. Might actually take less time to paint than it would be to build, which is a bizarre thing to say. So here's the Mephiston Red all over it. And then we're going to jump up to Evil Sunz Scarlet. And this one, as you can see when I do it here, I'm going to be a lot lighter on. I definitely want a lot of the underpaint to show through. And on the side now, it does look like it's quite a stark difference. But as this dries, it will darken up, and the jump in color won't be as noticeable. And it will give you an absolutely stunning result. And that big flat panel on the back is a really nice example piece to show you guys how it looks. You can see all the shadows are still deep and black, all the lines are still there. So it is giving us a really nice effect. Something we would spend a lot of time doing any other way. So apart from weathering, that's the red done for now. We're now going to jump over to Abaddon Black. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to repaint all the underbelly, anywhere that we've hit with red. We're just going to tidy up wheels, any of the rubber, anything like that, and then of course the underbody, there's loads of it, especially when we get that skid shield part of the front. So we got that, we hit a lot of the frame with black, or with red. Don't worry too much about things like the roll bar, because we're going to be doing that silver anyway. I am such a huge fan of the Votann range. I am actually very close to getting all the miniatures I have so far for it painted up. Just I think 2 characters and 1 more unit, I'm ready to rock and roll. Okay, moving on to Iron Hand Steel, and this is what we're going to use for the roll cage. So like the Land Fortress, this thing is well protected from flipping over as it bounces across asteroids and planetoid surfaces. To keep the occupants safe, it has a reinforced roll cage. It's a really nice piece of kit to a tank to really break up all those that color. Sometimes I do get a little bit sick and tired of the same color on vehicles. That's why I tend to do quite a lot of weathering, whether it be Imperial Guard tanks or whether it be Space Marine tanks. I find it's just like a whole block of red or a whole block of blue or a whole block of green, which can sometimes get a little bit boring for me. So I love when they do things like this, such a simple addition to a piece, which will really help to break up the color. And of course we're going to weather on top of this anyway, just to do the same thing. Okay, time to move on to Nuln Oil, and this is just going to go all over that roll cage, just to add a bit of depth to it before we do the layering stage. So I showed you guys how to do the interior of a tank on the Land Fortress. So if you want to do the interior of your Sagitaur, I'm going to leave a link on the top of the screen now. There will be a link down below in the description to that video if you want to go to that and learn how to paint the inside. I'm not going to do it in this video. I'm just going to spray the canopy black, which is what I normally do in vehicles like this to save time. So I sprayed it black, and then all I did was gloss the interior panels to make it shiny. It comes up a little bit worse for wear under this kind of bright light, but it's not as stark as this on the tabletop. And that's it. It saves me a bunch of time. I quite like the result, and I'm going to leave it at that. But like I said, if you want to learn how to do the interior, I did show it off in the Land Fortress video, so go over there and get that done. So we then jumped over to Corvus Black, and then we layered up all of the black parts on this miniature. So that includes the frame going around those canopies, and all of those protective parts of the roll cage. I don't really know what these bits are. They remind me of those bits that used to be on handlebars that are like foam, so you don't bang your forehead if you hit the brakes or whatever. But those, and then any of the other black parts around the miniature. We then jumped over to Ironbreaker, and that's for highlighting the roll cage and any other metallic parts on the miniature. And as you can see, I'm just doing like a feathering technique, and it is literally on the bits that are pointed up towards the sky that are going to get the most light. Any like underneath the roll cage and any of the deep recesses, we're going to leave that that shaded down iron hand steel, and this will give a really nice effect. Like I said, it's all about adding depth to a miniature like a tank. If you don't add depth and you just go for flat solid colors, it will just look like a toy. And I for one don't want my vehicles to look like toys. Okay, it's time to add some transfers to this miniature. So like I said, I'm going with the conglomerate scheme. So I've added some transfers appropriately. Added the number 2 to the side, the conglomerate seal, and then some other Wazzy designs. Nothing special. Once they're applied, then we can get to the weathering stage of this miniature. And for the weathering, we're going to use my trusty 2-stage sponge-on technique. So you get a bit of old case foam, or a bit of an old sponge. You can buy a sponge in a pound shop for £1 for a pack of 2 or 3, I'd imagine. You pull off a little bit, dip it in black paint, and then scrape it off like you're going to be dry brushing, and then you just press it onto the miniature. Less is more when it comes to this. You can keep applying and applying and applying until you get the desired result. What you don't want to do is dip it in black and then put a big splodge on the tank. That's not what you want. You want it to look like this thing has been, like I said, going across the surface of an asteroid. Little pebbles and rocks have been kind of pinging up and chipping the armor, or light arms fire has been pattering off the hull and causing scratches. Like this is a vehicle that's been in war, and they don't have time to repaint it every 2 seconds, so it will get scuffed and chipped. You can apply this and go over the same spot as many times as you like to get the desired result of chipping, each to their own when it comes to this. Sometimes I feel like more, like my Horse Heresy stuff is supposed to be based on the siege, so they're going to have a lot of chipping and weathering. Stuff like this, not so much. The second stage is once again using the same sponge. Didn't try and wipe it off or wash it off, just silver straight into the black, or black straight into the silver. And then once again I start hitting it with the silver's kind of scratching technique. With the silver I do exactly the same step, but then I also go a little bit heavier around the edges. I like to, like if you look at the sharp edge across the top of the back hatch, as you can see I hit along the silver, or with the silver, and it leaves a really nice chipped and worn effect on the vehicle. And with all the transfer applied, all the weathering done, I would call this Sagitaur complete, ready to be put on my shelf. I also did all the lights, so they are like other videos. I just hit them my coat of pure white, any color you like, and then whatever color contrast paint you want for the color of your lights, hit it. Like I said, these things are out of stock everywhere, so it's driving me slightly demented not being able to get my hands on my second one just yet, so I can field it in some battle reports, but hopefully I'll be able to alleviate that problem soon and get them on the table for you guys. Okay guys, and there we have it. One Sagitaur finished up and ready to rock and roll. I do need to get my grubby mitts on a second one to take full advantage of the ability to take a 10-man squad, split it into 2 5-man squads and put it in the 2 vehicles. I really want to see that, what that's like on the tabletop. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, it would mean the world to me. Take 2 seconds out of your day and hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions about League of Votann or any of the painting I've done in this video or any other video, put it in the comments below and I will get back to each and every one of you guys. And if you like what I do a lot and you want to support me making bigger and crazier projects, the best way to support me is through my Patreon. There's links and all that goodness below. Thank you guys so much for watching the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one.